Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Raw Cloud. Today, I want to speak to you guys briefly about some things. Um, you guys know that I've been sharing a lot of links dealing with the MKUltra and how they are programming people. You know, back in the early '70s and '80s, um, they started with the MKUltra type of programming for many different reasons. These were just not the military doing this, but you had CIA and their companies and their organizations, also within the Illuminati industries, and how certain military groups, they worship, Lucifer, or they were just devil worshippers. Um, and some of these links, they gave specific names of different people dealing with these programs. So this has everything to do with some of the missions that I have been incarnating, to expose or go and infiltrate some of these organizations and see how they are operating, who is essentially behind some of these programs. I told you guys, we do a lot of timeline jumping, and it's perfect for what I'm going to be showing you guys later. Um, through comic book type animations, and I have some other things lined up for you guys much later coming down the pipeline with how we are going to disclose a lot of the things and operations of how us white hats have been doing timeline jumps, going into specific timelines and passing messages to specific individuals to keep us up on a positive timeline. You guys know about the Looking Glass and how certain individuals were tasked by the Illuminatis to try to help them navigate for their timeline to be played out. And every time, every single time, they didn't like what was going to occur. It's because it was never meant for them to win in the end. Dark forces cannot beat the light. You can take one candle into a dark room and you can see your way. You can walk through the darkness. But imagine all of the star seeds, all of the Christ conscious beings that are turning their light on and stepping into their mission and working with the human collective to expose a lot of the things that are going on. Yes, some of you guys may not have some of the same missions that I do as far as with the military, the White Hat military, Earth Alliance, and the Navy Alliance, but a lot of you have um, similar missions just like we do. And we all work like a puzzle. We have pieces to this puzzle, and we're coming together to make everything work out in the end as we get these lessons. So a lot of times when I jump into these timelines. When I jump into these timelines, I'll briefly tell you about this one particular timeline where, and when I jump, I don't. These guys, the bad agents know how to track us, just like we know how to track them, and they use all kinds of means. You're talking about. You have also remote viewers. You also have bounty hunters uh, within the these elite organizations. You have dark magicians. You have other bad ET races that help them track us, and they get specific orders to come out and try to disrupt what we are trying to do. But I'm gonna talk to you real briefly about how I jumped into this timeline to pass an envelope to a college professor. So I go into this timeline. Um, he's in this classroom. He's in this classroom. I enter the classroom, and he's over there by the chalkboard. He's over there by this board, and I didn't look in. My orders were to pass this envelope. This envelope contained what he needed to see. Um, I don't look into other envelope. I'm a very loyal, very disciplined in my work. So I pass his envelope. At this time, as soon as I hand the envelope and I say a few words to this guy, I'm getting ready. My mission is pretty much is going to be over. So I'm going to be jumping back to this timeline. Before that can happen, there was another guy posed as a teacher within that college, also come into the room. And so when he come into the room, the college professor that I passed his envelope to, he walked out of the room at this time. And then I walk out of the room. But as I walk out of the room, I turned and I looked at this other teacher. He was pretending like, he was going to be starting another class there. So he started to erase what was on the chalkboard. I always go with my instinct. I knew that this was an agent. So I know how they operate. I know how they work. I get many of them that come in my job here, in the here and now, and they are half human, half reptilian.